Hey everyone, we're the Canada Book Club and welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Oma, I'm Linda, this is Jess, this is Tanya, and this is Mimi. And we are going to talk to you today about Japanese books because it is Japanuary.
Woohoo!
So we're going to cover a range of different books here. Books that we're currently reading, ones that we want to read, ones that aren't out yet, some that we read back in the day. So I think we're going to have to jog each other's memories here. But yeah, Mimi, I know you're reading one at the moment.
Yes, I am. I have started reading My Other Heart by Emma Nanami Strenner. She's a British-Japanese writer that Oma and I were fortunate enough to meet at a Hutchinson Hyman showcase in the end of 2024 when we were talking about upcoming releases for 2025. So this one's coming out in July. It starts out quite punchy with the kidnapping of a child and then cut to few decades in the future. There's a couple of teenagers who are living their life in suburban America, and one of them is convinced that her heritage is Japanese, and she's insistent on going back to Japan to find out about her background and to try and find her biological parents. And that's all I've got to so far, so I can't even spoil it, even if I wanted to.
Interesting.
But it's already really engaging, so it's something I'm really excited to continue reading. And yeah, it's a really good start.
And when's it out?
July 2025. So be patient. Okay. This isn't even the cover. The cover will look nicer than this.
Hopefully.
This is cute. I like it.
Yeah, simple.
Sounds juicy as well.
Don't worry.
I think it's a bit boring.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the cover, not the book.
So there's one that came out, I think, last year. Debut novelist Hanako Footman.
Mm-hmm.
The book's called Mongrel. It's about sex workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Is that an aspect
so.
of?
Yeah, there's like three main women characters, I think, and one of them is a sex worker in Tokyo.
Right. Okay.
I think, or they call her a hostess.
It's on my TBR.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued about it. I've read mixed reviews, but I've heard the author speak in different scenarios. So yeah, it's one that I want to read. So that's ones that we want to read. Ones that we've read now. Okay.
Well, I read one recently
Go on.
that's coming out this year in
Yes.
2025. Actually, it's a very short novella. It's called "May You Always Have Delicious Meals" by Junko Takase, and it's essentially kind of like an office drama. It's sort of like a mini book talking about the kind of intricacies of getting on with your colleagues and like weird people that you meet in the office, work dinners, kind of workplace romances going a bit sour. There's like a whole food element as well, sort of woven into it, and I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed reading it, and it was a very fun.
I loved the quote on the back of the proof, which was something about, I wish I could eat pot noodles forever for the rest of my life and it'd be a healthy, balanced meal. I just thought it was brilliant.
That's the main character, like main male character, I should say, in the book, and he's that speaks volumes. If you only want to eat pot noodles every day, it describes you in a certain way to me.
So there was one that me and you read like last year, Butter. We can't have a Japanuary video without talking about butter. You've seen this book everywhere. It's got the cow on the front with a bit of butter. It's bright yellow.
So I think one version of it even had the gold braid edges.
Yeah.
And it won Waterstone's Fiction of the Year last year, right?
Yeah, honestly, it's absolutely everywhere. It was a Fourth Estate lead. I was super excited to read it because the premise is it's about a serial killer.
But yeah, well, there's someone in jail because she's been connected to multiple murders.
But she actually hasn't been seen at the crime.
She was always the last person to be with the person that died.
Yeah, and she's basically an escort.
Yeah.
But her whole thing is that she loves food, she loves dairy products, but she loves butter. And the only way to understand more about this character was a journalist.
So she won't talk about like any of the murders that she was involved with, but she will talk to this journalist about food. And that's the only way that they can communicate.
Yeah. So the journalist...
Is he meant to decipher the message from...
Kind of. And she also had a blog.
We're not sold on this.
And she had a blog where she wrote all the stuff that she used to do in detail.
Right.
That she stopped writing in, obviously, after she went into prison. But yeah, so when the journalist meets her in prison and they start talking about all the different food things, and she'd be like, go to this shop, go and get the butter, melt it on a bit of rice or whatever I can't remember, so don't quote me on the recipes, yeah? And then have wild sex with someone, and then you'll know how I felt when I met so-and-so. And the journalist ends up putting on loads of weight because of this lifestyle that she's now living. Anyway, it was so bizarre and really overrated in my opinion. And Jess, how did you feel?
Well, I didn't even finish it.
Yeah, there
so
we go.
I don't even think I got halfway.
This is quite controversial.
Maybe I wasn't in the right headspace, but I just didn't.
It just felt like such a Jess book, though. I'm
That's
kind
what
of
I'm
disappointed
thinking.
in
I felt like I was trying too hard to get it.
We're putting all the pressure on
I
Jess.
don't want to do that. I don't have time for that
don't,
anymore.
Don't.
Can you
It's a
guys
new
let
year,
us
it's
know
new us.
in the comments if you read Butter and understood it, / liked it, / disagree with this discussion? Please feel free.
Tell me what I'm missing.
So that's
Yeah.
Butter, everyone. So maybe not. Let's go to something upbeat. What did we all like?
The only one I've read is Convenience Store Woman.
Oh, we love that.
I love
book.
that one. I
think
can't
we've
remember much of
we've
it, but
talked
I
about it a
remember
couple of
loving it.
times. We've talked about it a couple of times. It's very much about kind of a young woman trying to sort of find herself and celebrate her individuality in a kind of world in Japan though everyone wants her to be a certain way.
Was she autistic? Because I feel like that's what I got from it, and she was trying to fit in and trying to be like the people, because they were very were they bougie, like the people that she used to work with?
Yeah.
And then she was trying to imitate
people that she was friends with, they all had like designer bags and they wanted certain things out of their life, like they wanted to get married and live in a certain fancy house and do all these things.
She wasn't really bothered, was she?
Because she wasn't bothered, but she felt the pressure still to be like, I should want these things, I should like things.
She takes things quite
literally.
Is she the one that lived in a bathtub?
No, that man lived in
She had a man that lived in her bathtub.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good book.
It's very endearing. She's a very endearing character. She's really sweet. It's nice to watch her on her personal journey as you're reading it. It's not a long book either, so it's really, you get into it quite quickly. I thought it was funny in certain parts, and I really liked it.
I really enjoyed it.
I read that one too, but I can't remember it as much as you guys. All I remember is the bathtub and the 7-Eleven and some weird things that happened.
Have you read Murakami?
I have. I think the only one I've read of his is his short story collection, Men Without Women. And that was because I know that you've read his stuff, and I know that you love Sputnik Sweetheart.
I do.
And Norwegian Wood, did you?
I haven't read Norwegian Wood.
I've read 3 of his books, but I can't remember the third
You
one.
read Norwegian Wood,
I've not read that one.
So I've read
Sputnik
Sweetheart. I read his memoir about running, and I've read a third one, and I can't remember what it's called now.
So what did you think of the Men Without Women?
I thought it was good for a short story collection.
Yeah.
There was some obviously that you liked more than others. Some were just really weird, and I didn't quite understand them. But I don't know if that was just me lacking rather than Murakami, because I feel like he's one of the most prominent Japanese writers.
Very
so.
celebrated.
Yeah.
So I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But
It's a good taster, right? Like
yeah. I think I have always wanted to read Sputnik Sweetheart.
It's
because,
really,
I know it's one of your favourites, and I'm sure other people really like that one as well. It's probably the most popular. Yeah.
I also think it's quite hard to find literature about relationships written by men that's really, really compelling.
Yeah.
It's often quite a difficult one to... There's very few male authors, I think, that kind of really do romance and relationships really well.
Yes.
And actually that's what I quite liked with that Men Without Women, was that I liked that angle of if these men are missing their female partners for one reason or another, and what's the impact on their life. I thought that was really a smart concept, actually.
I think that's kind of a big element of Sputnik Sweetheart too, which makes me think you might like it.
I might pick it up.
I think I've read... One of you recommended me Norwegian Wood.
It definitely wasn't
She's really
me.
doubling down on
It was
this.
someone else.
Someone. Have you got a secret other book club that we don't know about?
That would be betrayal, wouldn't it?
Are you cheating on us?
I think that what I will say is I think that most of us tend to lean a lot more towards the more kind of modern side of Japanese fiction at the moment.
You say that, but something has just dawned on me whilst we're recording this video. I read this book called Silence by Shisako Endo, which is like a penguin classic. What the hell is it about? No, I read this over 10 years ago.
Wow.
It's a historical fiction.
Okay.
This is not helpful, is it? No. There's another one that I read which is a bit more modern, which is Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. It's a really small novella. Again, my memory's failing me today. But look it up, because I really like that one. I can't talk much about Silence by Shisako Endo, but I know that it's a classic. And then one I know that you've read, was it The Strange Weather in Tokyo?
Oh yeah, that's true. I did read that. I forgot about it. That book, Strange is probably a really good way to describe that book. It's kind of about a May-December romance. Is that the word?
What's that?
So it's the girl that's very young. She's like in her early 30s. She falls in love with her old professor, who's very old.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he was in his 60s, I think.
So she's in May and he's in December. That's
Yeah.
what she means. So like she's in the spring of her life and he's in the winter.
Wow.
So that's
literal. I still wouldn't have got that.
Got it?
Is that
It took me a bit.
Light bulb.
Is that a thing? Oh my god.
I've never heard of that before.
I've never heard it, but I feel like it makes sense.
A May December romance.
You've got a lot quicker than we do.
And actually,
Yeah, because I was really concentrating. I was like, May, December. It's not the months. Oh, it's time. It's time.
but actually, the book is also about like the running theme through the backdrop of the book is kind of the changing seasons in Tokyo. So it's about how their relationship develops over the seasons. But I just couldn't get over the fact that she used to be his student. He's that much older than her. I couldn't see how their lives would ever connect. I didn't feel anything for them as they developed their relationship. So I just think that book was a bit of a miss for me. But we are the Candid Book Club, and I'm here to be candid. So
Because there's a lot of those books. Like there's Before the Coffee Gets Cold.
Yeah.
There's The Strange Weather in Tokyo. I think there's others, right?
Yeah.
Is it some kind of series?
maybe.
Then there's the cat one. There's one that has a cat all over it, like
And
a
a
bookshop. If anyone's read any of those, like, do you know what's put me off? It just feels like, is everyone just reading because it looks cute? Please let me know, because that's why I don't think I've gone near them so far.
To be fair, I think I had the cat one and I couldn't get into it.
Is it?
Yeah,
That is so
years
classic
ago.
you, picking up a pretty book.
That's why I didn't want to say
She's confessing.
Yeah.
She loves it. You know, don't judge a book by its cover. Tanya judges a book by its cover.
Anyway, we did say that we were going to give you a range of, I think we've given you a range of feelings
Yeah.
as well as some tangible book recommendations. So if you've enjoyed or not, or agree or not, please leave a comment below and make sure you like, subscribe and follow us, and we will be back soon. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.